Hello and welcome back to Doomcoming. It's getting too easy to
I think
there.
you just hold the O until your voice cracks. That's what I've been noticing.
Yeah. Well, I'm just here to have a good time, Kristin, and that's part of it. So today we're talking about season 1, episode 6, Saints. Saints, plural, as in when the go marching in. This episode was written by Ashley Lyle, Bart Nickerson, you might remember them from every other episode, and also Chantel Wells. It was directed by someone whose surname is Woodruff and whose first name is either Bill or Billy. It's spelled Bille.
Depends on how you feel that day.
This episode originally aired on December 19th, 2021.
Lucky for you, Jenny, you're finally out of your least favorite time span between...
Yes, order has been restored.
Yes, I am now 41 and you remain at 40. Congratulations.
Nice.
This is the one where the girls tangle with the birds and the bees, navigating love, lust, and DIY surgery. In the present, blackmail, bunnies, and an icy reunion. Misty prepares for a house guest.
Kristin, yikes.
Yes, as they said in the 90s, yikes, stripes, fruit, striped gum.
Wow. I forgot.
Whenever I hear the word yikes, it's truly what I think of. So that's where I live.
So, what's this episode about besides what you just said?
Well, so, we like to find a character. Last episode, we didn't find a character unless you went with Jenny's choice of Triangle Buddy.
Triangle Buddy!
You didn't see my original note. Right now in the show notes, it says Lottie, Salvation. But the first draft of that was Lottie and Jesus. Which,
Potato.
Exactly. But I think, it's funny because the episodes are getting more, there's more connective tissue between the past and the present as we move forward. And so, and the formatting is not consistent, right? Which I think is a mark of a quality show, like a quality writing, that they're not like, and then every episode we will do it like this. And so it feels like it's Lottie in that we get baby Lottie yet again. How many feet do we have in our mouths at this point from that first episode?
So many feet.
So many feet. But it's like, it is Lottie, but we don't get, it's not all Lottie. It's like we get baby Lottie, we get a lot, we get a Lottie of Lottie, and we also get a ton of other characters and their plot lines. So, I call it Lottie, but it's a little different than when like our focus was Ty in episode 3.
Yeah, well, we don't have the benefit of seeing Lottie in 2021.
Yeah,
if that's
true.
a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But shall we kick it off with what Lottie's getting up to in this episode?
Yeah, I mean, so, well, let's start with adorable baby Lottie. All these children are so cute. So we get, I mean, what do we think this is? Like 1990?
Yeah, 89.
89. Taylor Swift is being born somewhere and Lottie is sitting in
There's no reason to bring her into this.
I'm sorry, 1989. I can't separate it from Taylor Swift being born. So little Lottie is in the back seat. Her parents are in the front seat. They're discussing the cost of oil, which is super relatable content to watch in 2022.
Yeah, Kristin, do you remember what a tank of gas cost the first time you filled up your car when you became a driver?
I don't remember what a tank cost, but I remember that there was a good span of time where gas was under $1 or just over $1 a gallon. There was one time when it was 89 cents a gallon at the gas station on the corner where my high school was when I was driving.
The first time I filled up my car was 84 cents a gallon.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what? Just wild. Just absolutely wild. I mean, think about that. Like my car right now has like a 16-gallon tank, which means that at those prices, it would have cost me $16 to fill up my whole gas tank. And now it costs me like $70 to $80. Like, I mean, it's not funny. It's really upsetting, but that's where we are. Anyhow. The parents are in the front seat talking about something they're hearing on the radio, cost of oil, da-da-da-da-da. And then baby Lottie screams in the back seat. And they're like...
She lets out a little precognition shriek.
Yeah.
Which prevents her parents from driving when the light turns green. And then there's a big old smash up. Great big car accident right in front of them.
Graphic.
So what we can take away from this is that... What I take away from this is that Lottie had some precog advantage and just saved everybody's lives. And then she returns to happily brushing her My Little Pony's mane.
Is it actually a My Little Pony? I meant to look.
Yes.
It is. It's a legitimate, a brand name pony.
I don't know why they would bother putting one in that wasn't a MLP.
Well, yeah, especially because I mean, it appears by all counts the
Matthews family is loaded.
The Matthews family is loaded. Exactly. I think that's why they would make the decision not to, is if the Matthews family was not loaded. So
Mr. Matthews is the Scully of this nuclear family, and Mrs. Matthews is the Mulder.
Yeah, Mom believes Lottie. Dad's like, put her on meds. So this ties into a conversation that we were not able to like fully have last week, right? Where like we saw that Lottie was on meds. She was running out of meds. It was like, is this show going to be all in the all in this realm or in other realms? And I think this episode really takes it to, okay, so like at the very least, we've gotten backstory on Lottie seeing a car crash or something that gave her the ability to warn her parents, and then seeing, as we will talk about, many, many, many things in 1996 in the woods, off of these meds that we know her dad, put her on basically at this point in her young life when she's like 8 years old, maybe. I mean, honestly, you said 89 when I said 90, but I think my math is probably off. I think she's probably like 6 here. She's pretty little. So do you want to talk about some of the visions that she has in the woods? One in particular that we get to see so many times despite wanting to never, ever, ever see it. At least if you're me, Kristin Russo.
Yeah, this bloody antlered deer trotting about.
Is this what a deer looks like when it is shedding its antlers?
I did not think so, but
Ben seems convinced, and I feel very trusting of Ben. Ben has hunting facts. He's got condoms. Ben has everything you need for your crash in the woods.
Okay, yuck. I've discovered. So, oh my God. Yeah, shedding the antler velvet does look a little bloody and stringy, unfortunately.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. It's pretty gnarly. But we get a lot of Lottie visions here of this deer specifically. We also get a really, really pointed shot of Lottie sort of like turning. She is going to go outside because, as I've put in the show notes, in this episode, Taissa is in fact eating dirt across all timelines.
Indeed.
So at one point, Lottie in the cabin is going to go outside and grab a lantern, finding young Ty eating dirt. And when she takes that lantern, she also unhooks it from deer antlers and turns around, and there is a gorgeous shot of Lottie's head in the center of the antlers, giving her this like antler crown, which we have seen in the woods in those what the hell are these flashbacks when we have all of the like fur masks and other such stuff.
I like that you call them the what the hell are these flashbacks? What?
Well, just like what is happening here? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, I would call them like cannibalism flashbacks. Or
I just
like,
refuse to get on the cannibalism train. You know,
sure.
like I'm not
cannibalism
getting there
until it's been proven beyond the shadow of a doubt. Or how about the colloquialized thing that what's been coined on Reddit and the internet, the Antler Queen flashbacks?
Okay,
maybe.
Sure. I accept Antler Queen flashbacks, but otherwise
there are just too many things that could fall into the basket of the what's going on here flashbacks.
That's true. But I stay firm in my innocent until proven cannibal camp.
Okay.
Okay. So, oh my gosh, so I had the way that like note taking has been going on a journey for me is that now, in case anyone really loves to hear what happens behind the scenes, I take my notes like the olden days where I go scene by scene. I take very detailed notes. And then I make a shared notes document for Jenny and I where I look through my detailed notes and I'm like, oh, this goes here and this goes here and this goes there. And it's actually a really fascinating exercise, I think especially so for this show, because normally if I do something like that, I'm like, oh, I have like a thought or a second thought. But for this, some like really big shit comes up for me. And the biggest thing I think that came up for me in this, which is part in the Lottie camp, but also part in the Taissa camp, is that I'm sorry to like jump right here, Jenny, but we have this baptism. We're going to talk, I'm sure, a ton about it, right? Laura Lee baptizes Lottie in the lake. And as I was taking my notes, I realized that there's another scene in the lake, which is Van and Taissa. And Ty and Van are like making out, writing words on each other's bodies. We will also talk more about that scene. But what I realized is like, oh, there's a lake and two things happen in that lake. And both Taissa and Laura Lee Lottie are both feeling that they're like pointing in a direction of some kind of salvation, right? That like Taissa is like, I will save us. I will journey into the woods and believe that I can find help for us to save us. And the Lottie and Laura Lee side of things is like much more a spiritual salvation. And how can we trust what we can't touch? Or how can we, like, how do we believe? And how does that belief like hold us up and possibly save us? So I just like... thought that was so cool. That was like definitely a parallel that my brain, I mean, I know there are folks that watch shows and are just immediately there, but like for me, it takes a couple of leaps through notes in my documents to get there. And I just thought it was really, really fucking cool. And baptism as like a theme in this lake seems just like chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Jenny's looking at me like she's so impressed with me. Like, wow, look at her go, you know?
Well, I had the benefit of reading the show notes before we actually got onto tape, so I burned a lot of my I'm impressed fuel already in the privacy of my own home. But I do think this is a very cool observation. I was kind of confused because there's like a little bit of a waterfall situation going on where Taissa and Van are doing their I'm riding on your back game. And I thought that was maybe like a little grotto that was like removed from the lake, but also I guess it would be at the very least probably connected
to the yeah. And I think, you know, I mean, I definitely don't think it even needs to be the same lake for it to have the, you know, submerging in water. And I mean, let's talk about the baptism. Do you want to just like talk about that whole journey of Lottie? I think this is really cool. So Lottie has run out of her meds, and we are to, at least given the information we have, draw lines between the fact that she has some kind of like precog abilities here. She has some kind of visions. And these meds have like tamped them down. So now she's having visions. And she's also been, I mean, say what you will, but like she's definitely been robbed of the experience of having these kinds of visions for many, many years. So she is now isolated in the woods after a plane crash, experiencing them really for the first time since she was super little. So she is overwhelmed and terrified. Perhaps she wouldn't be if she had had some more in her life. Who knows? But that's where she is. And so she turns, of course, to like Laura Lee to have a conversation because she knows that Laura Lee is very spiritual, has presented herself as such, and might have some answers.
Honestly, the most important thing that happens in this little subplot in my mind is that when Lottie approaches Laura Lee, she sneaks up on her and Laura Lee is scared. So she says, cheese and rice. Which is a way for you to inoculate yourself against taking the Lord's name in vain.
Yes, I have
but rhyming.
Cheese and rice in all caps in my notes as well. It's funny because in 1996, I can't imagine you saying this, Jenny, but like in 2022, I can imagine you saying cheese and rice.
It could happen.
Okay, so after Laura Lee says cheese and rice, Lottie is basically like, so in the Bible, people like see a bunch of shit, right? And
Laura Lee is like, yes, visions, connection to God. It's so holy. Everything is chill. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, and they have this conversation because Laura Lee is like, they in the Bible they like can be a warning or they can be a revelation. And Lottie asks, I think, a really cool question: how did they know they weren't just crazy? And Laura Lee gives an answer that I also think is fucking cool. She says, God gave them faith. It's the substance of things that are hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. They knew it because they believed it. This is some cool fucking Laura Lee. Like really. And what I love about the way that Laura Lee is written, and like the words that she gives is she's not at all like, it does not feel that she is preaching or that she is saying this is the truth. She starts her sentence by saying, I think, or like the way that I interpret it. Like it's very beautiful the way that she is sharing her beliefs because it does not feel, and she's been this way since the jump. I just feel like it really comes to a head here in this conversation with Lottie. We've never seen Laura Lee like shame anyone else for their beliefs, at least to my recollection. It very much feels like Laura Lee believes what she believes. She walks in that belief and she is like here if you want to talk to her about it, but also she's not here to like judge you, which like, wow, imagine, Jenny, imagine a world where like this was how people practiced Christianity.
Or anything else.
Or anything else. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that would be very cool. Oh, well.
Yeah.
So Laura Lee is like, yo, you have to, I've got an idea and it involves you accepting Jesus into your heart and me baptizing you.
And I have a spare nightgown. I'm assuming that this is Laura Lee's.
Whose nightgown is that?
It's gotta be Laura Lee's nightgown, right?
I don't know because I think Lottie is like a bit taller than Laura Lee. I think she might be like the tallest in the squad.
You think Lottie packed that nightgown? I mean, Lottie is a pretty great, honestly, out of all of their dressing styles, I think I'm most into Lottie's outfits. They're very fucking cool. I just think
for a week-long trip, a lot of them seem to have multiple pajama options, which seems peculiar.
In Buffering the Vampire Slayer, we had a lot of strong opinions about matching pajama sets.
That's
here
true.
In the Doomcoming universe, we're going to have a lot of opinions on how many pairs of pajamas do you need to pack for 1 week.
Yes.
1 is the answer from me. That's how many pairs of pajamas I would pack for 1 week.
Yeah, that seems fine.
I want to talk for a second about the cinematography in the actual baptism. It is so gorgeous. We have, when they go to the lake to do this baptism, like we said, Lottie is in a nightgown of her own, or who knows? Whose nightgown is it? Share your opinions with us in the comments or, at Bufferingcast. But Laura Lee puts her under the water and we see her from above the water. We also get like one shot from like a shark's vantage point, correct? There's like
Shark's
there's like
this is a freshwater lake, Kristin.
Listen,
I guess technically there
on
are
Lost
freshwater
there was a
sharks,
polar
but-
bear in the woods. So like don't tell me what can
Right.
be in this lake and what
Okay.
can't be.
Okay.
But when we see Lottie from above, it's really beautiful. And then we go to the side. And now Laura Lee is basically gone. And Lottie is like falling through the water. And it's just like these really deep blues and beautiful lighting. It's so, I just fucking love it. I love it so much. And Lottie sort of is transported in this moment of baptism to what kind of looks like a scene from Nightmare on Elm Street at the jump. It's like a very wet basement, like very like, are there chains in this basement? Is there going to be like a sound effect?
Yeah, it's very
A lamb running by?
yeah, it's super creepy.
Yeah. It's really
And
creepy.
It's so damp.
It's super creepy, super damp. And I don't know. I mean, I think the whole thing is kind of done right on the edge of creepy and gorgeous, which I guess like I have a lot of feelings about that feel like powerful. Like that feels like a powerful choice because so then she's going up these stairs and there's all these candles lit and then we're moving out of like horror into like, oh, this is kind of beautiful. And she's like walking through these candles and then she lights one of the candles and that's kind of beautiful. And then she's underwater and it seems so peaceful. She sees Laura Lee's face from underneath the water and then it like darkens at the sides of the frame.
Yeah.
And it's like horror all over again. And she gets out of the water screaming.
Yes.
And she says, I saw fire and light. And Laura Lee says, that's the Holy Spirit. You've been touched. Thoughts, Jenny?
Yeah, I mean, I think if Lottie had been a little bit more specific about what she saw, this would not necessarily have been Laura Lee's interpretation.
Maybe, but I also was thinking about like my days of studying religion and its history and like how dark and terrifying the depictions and stories and so much that is the groundwork of like so many of the religions that are practiced on this earth are, like they're like, and also the I took this course once on sacrifice. It was like a course on it wasn't a course teaching me how to sacrifice. Just don't get too excited. But it was a course on like the history of sacrifice and connecting like Christianity and the like the practices of like taking the blood and the wine and like guys, you don't need to think too hard to figure out where these traditions were sourced. They were sourced in the things that came before organized Christianity, when there were sacrificial rituals, et cetera, et cetera. And so like what I love that I don't have like the tools to completely articulate right now is just that I think that if you crack open spirituality and religion, you find things that are terrifying and that really walk the line between like horror and beauty, and that like there's power there. And so I love that Lottie has this experience and that Laura Lee, without missing a beat, is like, that's the Holy Spirit. She's not like,
Kristin,
yeah.
You ever gotten a look at a biblically accurate angel?
Yeah, they're fucking terrifying.
What do you need all them eyes and wings all over themselves for?
They're terrifying. And like we've
many eyes and
taken
wings.
it, especially like, I mean, I can only speak from a United States perspective, but we've like really taken it. And if you showed my mom a picture of one of those historically accurate angels, she'd be like, get the hell out of my house with that shit. That's not an angel.
Yeah,
An angel is beautiful and sparkly and pretty and will save me and love me. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, it is too much for like this pod, but I just feel like there's something there that feels important to me because I think maybe a lot of what we've lost along the way with our practicing of religion is its sanitization, and it's like black and white nature, and it's, you know, like oversimplification. So I just think it's rad that Lottie comes out of the water screaming terrified, and Laura Lee is like, oh yeah, oh yeah, this tracks. This is it's fucking terrifying to fucking see that shit. Yeah. Okay. So sorry, I did not anticipate going on a like that deep of a dive into the baptism, but you know, I was raised Catholic and did a lot of graduate work trying to take religion apart with my hands. So I guess it just bubbled up to the surface, Jenny. I'm sure we will touch upon baptism more, but where do you want to go next?
Oh, let's talk about Taissa.
Oh, boy.
Chomp, chomp. She's hungry. She's got a hunger.
She's the connection, actually, if we go from Lottie to Taissa, the connection is also one of my favorite scenes in the series, which is Taissa running past Lottie and Lottie being like, wait, but before you go, were you eating dirt? And Taissa being like, what the fuck? No, Lottie, I don't have time for crazy right now. And she just keeps running. It's just
good.
It's good.
Yeah, Taissa not doing.
Yeah, so what do we think here? This is Taissa's trauma response? Is this like, because Taissa's eating dirt in 96 and now Taissa's eating dirt in 96 and now Taissa is eating dirt in 2021.
Indeed.
And we have like this whole situation with like Sammy and hearing that Sammy is under overwhelming amounts of stress. It feels like, right?
The child psychologist that sees Sammy is diagnosing Tai, basically is saying like, oh, psychogenic fugue, dissociative amnesia.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so close. It's right there, Taissa.
Taissa's right next. The call is coming from inside the house. And Taissa is so, I mean, like her response to the idea of therapy is so extreme, like so, in a negative way. You know, she like,
so mad.
She suggests that like the therapist is just trying to make money by misdiagnosing their son, which is, you know, that's a very
bleak way to look at life.
Yeah, that is a very extreme response to this. And it makes you wonder too, like what happened when they got back and what has Taissa been, because again, we don't know, but it's like if we are to take what this episode seems to be presenting, which is that Taissa is having these, what is it, fugue states? And was having them in 96. Then did she see a therapist? They all, I'm sure, had to go to therapy when they got back from this experience?
I don't know. It was 1997 or 1998 when they got back. So really,
but
I don't know.
Still, I mean, it seems like there was a rejection out of hand from Taissa that she has been like hard no on this.
Yeah. Let me give you a definition for dissociative fugue, by the way. According to Wikipedia.
It's a trusted source of all psychologists.
Yeah. Dissociative fugue is a rare psychiatric phenomenon characterized by reversible amnesia for one's identity, including the memories, personality, and other identifying characteristics of individuality. The state can last for days, months, or longer. Dissociative fugue usually involves unplanned travel or wandering, and is sometimes accompanied by the establishment of a new identity. For instance, someone who eats dirt.
I was going to say, and sometimes includes eating dirt. We are not doctors. We are not medical professionals. We are
simply reading a Wikipedia article.
We are simply scratching a surface of a thing that certainly can go much deeper than what we're presenting here.
Obviously,
for our horror television show podcast, I think that's okay for now. And I mean,
just two women watching TV.
But I think, this is clearly what Taissa is experiencing. And I wonder, what it means then at the end of this episode that she is aware that she is doing this thing. Because it seems very specific that this is, that she comes to her consciousness with a bloody hand while eating dirt. And I don't know that this is a fact, but it seems like this is the first time that she is aware that she has been doing this ever.
Yep.
Right?
It definitely has that feel. Like, if we're just reading her performance, and her reaction to what Lottie says in passing, what we have to go on here indicates that she's experiencing this for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, outside of the state.
Exactly. And probably drawing, if that is true, drawing a lot of connections to many things. Perhaps even the moment when she ran by Lottie in 1996. And Lottie was like, dude, were you eating dirt? And she was like, the fuck? Where the fuck would you come up with an idea like that? And then she's in the tree. I hate that they live. I mean, I don't want Taissa to eat dirt, but I hate that they live in an urban area where she has to go to a potted tree to eat dirt. I just wish for her to at least have free range dirt in.
Right?
It feels wrong that she has to go to this little potted tree.
All I can think of is feral cats using that potted tree as a bathroom.
Oh no. Yeah.
I don't want that to be the case,
either.
but a potted plant in an urban setting is not safe from feral cats in my experience.
No, as a matter of fact, it is a prime target of feral cats. And this, of course, this is a lot of this puts together a lot of big pieces for us, the viewer, because we now know that Sammy, talking about the woman in the tree, was talking about Taissa. And when he is saying the bad one and it's the other one, he's probably been talking about his fucking mom. And that he has seen his mom doing these things and has absolutely no tools as a tiny, tiny baby to put together what the fuck is happening. So this child is, as we have not been able to fully establish until this moment in the podcast, completely fucking traumatized. And that is why he's not okay, but definitely the least okay person in the house is Taissa. Simone is so mad.
Oh my gosh.
She is also so hot. The madder Simone gets, the hotter she becomes. I'm so sorry, but it's true.
She deserves to be mad.
Yeah, she sure does, for so many reasons. Her stare at Taissa in the beginning when they're basically just unpacking the fact that Taissa has not dropped out of the race. Her stare, I was like, they say looks, if looks could kill, this is that, bottle this look. Because
when looks can kill.
Ooh. Okay. What else about Taissa? Probably, I mean, really, this isn't maybe that big of a deal, but I mean, it is, but in the grand scheme of things, is it? They almost hit a biker on their drive home, which is very terrifying.
Yeah. Also, the way that she spent when Simone and Taissa are having their grown folks talk, and Taissa starts Simone is obviously disturbed because Taissa said she was going to drop out of the race and then did exactly the opposite, and then also apparently disappeared for the night, and they never had a conversation, probably because Taissa was too busy eating dirt out of a potted tree.
Right.
Taissa spins this well, I looked at you and Sammy and I was like, this wasn't just my dream, this was our dream, and giving up on it felt like giving up on us. This is what tells me this woman is destined for politics.
For politics, yeah.
Because she's absolutely full of shit.
Yeah, she's completely full of shit. And Simone is like, yeah, well, if that's true, fucking be at this appointment at 3, you fucking bitch. Like, if this is actually about your fucking family, then why don't you do anything for your family? How about that? It's amazing to me that, I mean, we don't know how long Taissa has been eating dirt. I'm going to assume it has not been that long. But I just can't imagine being in a marriage where you did not notice this fairly quickly. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Taissa has only just recently started this activity again, because there's no
Y'all
way.
don't try to marry Kristin and keep your dirt eating a secret.
No way. I'll fucking know.
can't be
I'm
done.
gonna know you're eating dirt. I give myself a maximum of 2 dirt eatings before I find out that you're eating dirt. Van's on to
even Van in the dark in the water is like, why? How did your fingernails get so filthy?
Van and Taissa in the water is so cute and great.
Dude,
Van
writing, they're doing a game where they write different words on each other's backs and see if they can guess what they are. And Van's word is boobs, and Van is like, I write what I know. And that rocks.
It rocks. It really rocks. She also says, treat me like a lady, in response to Taissa's dirty fucking fingernails. It's great. This is the kind of representation we wanted in 1996. So it's lovely to get it in flashback form. They're cute, you know? They are cute. I will say it. I like them.
It's true.
And there's a brief acknowledgement in this moment as well that no one knows that they're making out and hooking up and are girlfriends. And Van is like, what are you scared of what other people would think? And speaking of politicians sort of like twisting a story, and I'm not going to like necessarily say this is what's happening, but it sure does seem like it. It sure does seem like Taissa does not want people to know that she's queer, and she's spinning it as she just doesn't want the drama of people knowing. You know, you can't know, you can't get inside a person's head, but that's what it feels like. Taissa also giving us a line that I think, Jenny, we both love, when she's telling Van that she wants to go and save, you know, find somebody, save them, go into the wilderness, etc. She says, it's not like we're on an island.
Hell yes, Taissa.
And that's the big 96 of it all for Taissa, apart from eating dirt, is that by the end of this episode, Taissa has told the camp that she's gonna go and she's gonna try to find help.
Yeah.
Because the alternative, I mean, she has a point. Like, the alternative is
it does
what?
seem weird that this hasn't already been something that's been in discussion.
Yeah.
All right, shall we talk about our sweet, beautiful baby Shauna?
Gosh, and so like we do get 95 Shauna and Jackie in this episode too. Just every time we see a scene, I'm like, that's in like 95 or 89 or whatever, I'm like, God damn it, past Kristin. Why'd you have to be a dummy? Yeah, let's talk about Shauna dreaming of her burger chicken baby.
We've all had a dream where we give birth to a rotisserie chicken, a delicious, succulent, juicy rotisserie chicken moving its little wings and crying like a baby.
This is amazing. This dream is amazing. I love it. A+. A++++ for this dream. I think it's done wonderfully. He's so beautiful, just like his father. Jackie
he looks
says
just like Jeff.
to Shauna about the rotisserie chicken.
And then she starts chowing down. Good Lord, I really hope that's not a harbinger of things to come.
I know. At this point, definitely, we were all like, wait, the math on the baby means that that baby is not Callie. So what happened to the baby? Did they eat the baby? Oh, no. Shauna's having dreams of eating the baby. Oh, no.
Yes.
I don't think they eat the baby. That's my 2 cents. I don't think they eat the baby.
Okay, so Taissa comes back from the waterfall And she and Shauna have a little chat. Shauna is considering trying to give herself an abortion. She heard that somebody she went to school with did it to herself with the wire from an underwire bra. She also accidentally reveals to Ty that Jeff is the father.
Yeah. Well, she like accidentally and then purposefully. I will.
Right.
I will say, because I do think it's I like the way that it's written, where she like kind of half slips, and she doesn't have to like say it clearly and with her full self, but she does. Secrets. They're sharing secrets. Taissa and Shauna have a real episode this episode. Young Ty and young Shauna. I want to talk about this scene with the underwire. The only thing that I find kind of bananas is that Taissa's like, this bra seems to be missing an underwire. Like,
Detective Ty.
That part I was like, well, I mean, I guess she was kind of on the lookout for it because Shauna had said as much, but it still is like, whatever. But this scene, which is intercut, we should say, with the baptism scene, which is also like a very, very poignant and powerful choice, is really hard to watch at any point. But we are speaking to you from the year 2022, where I have to say that this scene took on an even heavier weight than it had when I watched the show when it aired in 2021. It is, I think, so the choice to have this scene go the way that it goes. Shauna is in the woods. She is like brought all of the tools she believes that she needs. Certainly, I will say, as a person who knows my body a lot more after many, many years of journeying through fertility, I know that I had absolutely no idea what parts of my body were inside of my body until that time. And I think that that holds true for most young people, certainly young women in 1996. So, you know, there is a total lack of awareness here of what is even, I think, being attempted. But she's in the woods and she's doing her best to kind of like piece it together. It's bad, but it's also, I think, beautiful, because I cried again. I cried when this scene happened in real time when I was watching it, and I cried again today watching it. And it's not from the like terror and trauma of watching this. It's actually from the fact that Taissa and Shauna are together in this, and the way that these actors deliver this performance for us. Because Taissa finds Shauna, and I have like the chills even talking about it, because she makes the decision in that moment when she finds Shauna to not say, you can't fucking do this, but to say like, you can't do this by yourself. I have to be here with you. And she tries to help her until Shauna cannot do. I know I have like full body chills because it's so terrifyingly beautiful to me, this moment that they share where Shauna then can't do it and she's just sobbing, and they take this thing out of Shauna and they hold each other and they're crying, and she's saying, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. This is I can't even no more of it. Like I don't even think I can talk anymore about it, because I'm gonna cry again just talking about it. It's just so where we are, where we were, perhaps where we've fucking always been. This is a stunning scene of television, and I don't think I need to say more than that. But what do you think, Jenny?
Yeah, I'd love to move quickly away from this.
Yeah, but I appreciate its presence in the show. I really do. I just think it's true, and I like the moment between the two of them. I think it's powerful, and I also am glad that no one dies here. That is good.
Yes. Agree.
So,
what else can we say about Shauna? Listen, she and Jackie have a little conversation about Jeff. And Jackie's all like, oh my gosh, he told me that he loves me and I didn't say it back and I regret making him wait, and now I'm gonna die out here a virgin and all of this stuff. She reveals that she even misses Jeff's Ace Ventura impression. Chekhov's Ace Ventura impression? One can hope. Unleash the Jeff's Ace Ventura impression tapes, you cowards.
Yeah. My note was, oh my God, of course Jeff does an Ace Ventura impression.
Kristin, I am now married to someone who also has an Ace Ventura impression, and it is, among other things, relentless. It is always with me.
I invite Jess to the pod at any point simply to do her Ace Ventura impression.
Wow, sounds great.
I also, this is a big Jim Carrey episode because also in Jackie's diary, in another scene, which I'm sure we're going to talk about Jackie's diary, one of her favorite movies is The Mask, another Jim Carrey film.
We got to talk about this, actually.
We do. But let's finish this because this scene in the woods is also important. There's more that I want to say about the scene between Jackie and Shauna in the woods.
Hit it, bitch.
Which is just that as Jackie is talking about the fact that Jeff might lose his virginity to somebody while she's gone, Shauna is like clutching the side of the tree with the weight of her own guilt. And Jackie is like, oh no, are you hungry? And Jackie gives her the like last piece of jerky that she has in her little pocket pouch, whatever, which is
honestly,
just oof.
Pregnant women are supposed to be eating like 300 more calories a day. So yeah, let's get that jerky going.
Yeah.
I don't want to be morbid, but I am concerned for Shauna's general health, like the health of her body and its ability to support the growth of this baby.
I mean, the fact that, and like, I'm sure that these things have happened, but to be pregnant and then get in a plane crash and then be absolutely malnourished and exhausted.
You're sure this has happened?
Well, I mean...
Kristin is positive this has happened. Sites we can source. Claire on the island. Yes. End of list.
Claire's baby. We got baby Aaron. Baby Aaron's here with us. So she had that baby after all that drama, and she left that baby on a leaf. You know what I mean? She just left him on a leaf. God damn it. But also though, here's the difference between Claire and Shauna is that Claire was like 8 months pregnant. So like baby Aaron probably could have survived even if Claire had not survived the plane crash. You know what I mean? Like, I was laughing hysterically because I didn't mean that this exact thing had happened. I just meant that, like, I'm sure I know that, like, there have been many pregnant women who have faced unspeakable trauma and still have, carried their pregnancies and had these babies. It's just, but it is, like, really wild to think about the fact that, Shauna has been through all of this and is, like, going through all of this and still is supporting this tiny fetus's existence inside of herself. Anyway, what were we talking about? Ace Ventura, the diary. We were going to get to the diary. I just wanted to make sure that we talked about the fact that Jackie, did this really nice thing in the woods.
Yeah. Jackie can be really nice. Mm-hmm. I like Jackie.
Yeah, I know. You're really pro Team Jackie this watch.
Look, it's not her fault that she has adapted to having hot girl privilege. And that's how she lives her life. And that she's not very outdoorsy and that she doesn't want to be in the woods. Okay, so let's talk about this journal. We can go back and talk about how we get to the journal in a minute, but since it kind of starts in 1995, let's just dig in here. We see Shauna and Jackie, Shauna sees a vision, a memory of her and Jackie in 1995 sitting on a bed in Jackie's room, And Shauna is holding a pink journal. And she's writing stuff in it as Jackie gives her very clear instructions about how she should ask Jeff if Jeff likes Jackie.
But it's like Randy, right? Isn't it like, tell Randy that you think, that Jeff thinks, that I think.
Right. Yeah, it's a circuitous route that's being taken. It's a plan of Machiavellian proportions. Jeff will not see this coming. And okay. And then we see, Shauna in 2021 holding this journal. Here's the deal. Shauna was writing notes in it, right? She was like is it Shauna's journal that now lives in Jackie's room? Was it Jackie's journal? Let's take a look. I knelt in front of my television and painstakingly transcribed. I could have just looked up other people's screenshots,
Definitely,
but I did it myself.
A lot. This was a bit. If you didn't watch the show in real time, this was a moment for the internet, kids.
Yeah, people were losing it, and here are some things we see inside the journal. Page 1. My top 10 tunes are Wanna Be by the Spice Girls, Killing Me Softly by the Fugees, Always Be My Baby by Mariah Carey, Ironic by Alanis Morissette, Doin' It by Ladies Love Cool James, 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins, Wonderwall by Oasis, Because You Love Me by Celine Dion, Give Me One Reason by Tracy Chapman, and Who Do You Love by Deborah Cox. Fave bands, there are 2, and neither of them are represented in my top 10 tunes list. They are Outkast and No Doubt.
Hey, I think we were a little more conscious in the late 90s of like the fact that you could like a song by an artist, but that didn't necessarily.
Oh boy. Okay.
Well, I mean, because we were listening to full albums like way more,
This list makes it seem to me like this is Jackie's.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. And actually, everything that I'm about to read you makes me feel like
I was going to say the
Jackie's
movies
show.
are the most Jackie list of all time.
Okay. Top 10 movies: Fear, The Birdcage, The Cable Guy, Romeo plus Juliet, Jumanji, Scream, Striptease, Matilda, The English Patient, The Craft. Now check it out.
Such an incredible list. I know you're going to talk about math. I just like. Fear next to The Birdcage. Fucking Scream next to Striptease next to Matilda. Just delicious.
The range
here is it's just.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies just to see if you could save some cash? Well, Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states.
Goodbye, Kyle!
Did the sound of those words call to you like Pavlov's dog? Then you might enjoy our podcast, Turtle Time.
Every week, you can join me, Riley Hamilton, and my co-host, Amy Scarlatta, as we cover the most pressing Bravo news and dig into the new episodes to answer important questions like, who the hell is Adrian Malouf in this world?
Listen to Turtle Time on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Wednesday and Friday.
The Regency era. You might know it as the time when Bridgerton takes place, or it's the time when Jane Austen wrote her books. The Regency era was also an explosive time of social change, sex scandals, and maybe the worst king in British history. Vulgar History's new season is all about the Regency era, the balls, the gowns, and all the scandal. Listen to Vulgar History Regency era wherever you get podcasts.
Yes, go ahead, Jenny. I'm sorry.
Okay. So the release dates of these movies, let's talk about them. Because it's 1996, and the girls' soccer team is going to nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Girls' soccer is a fall sport, ? let's be generous and say it's the fall of 1996.
Yes, we can be as generous as you want to be. You're still never going to fit fucking Scream in there, I'll tell you what.
Romeo plus Juliet came out October 27th, 1996.
Mm-hmm.
The English Patient came out November 15th, 1996. And Scream came out December 18th, 1996.
Just one day after my 16th birthday. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah,
I'll tell you what else.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a couple more tasty little tidbits before I dump some more reality in your lap.
Okay.
Celeb crush, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Don't forget about Justin Timberlake, who was also there. You have to have a J and a minimum of one T in your name to be Jackie. Yeah. Oh my God,
JT
her name
or
is
JTT.
Her name is
Jackie Taylor.
Jackie Taylor.
There's a round of MASH, and here are the husband candidates. Okay. MASH, for those who have never played it, is a thing. Oh my God, it's like mansion, apartment, shack, house. That's what MASH stands for. And you come up with like 4 candidates for your husband and your job and how much money you have and what your house will be and what
it's
car
how we
you'll drive,
all
whatever.
learned about classism.
Yeah. And then you would do a sort of like a by counting, you would sort of reduce the candidates until it came down to 1 in each, and then you would have your results. But okay, in the husband list, we have Jeff, Travis, some guy named Nick, and Kristin, do you have any idea who the 4th candidate might be?
No, I didn't.
Why? It's Coach Ben Scott.
What? I didn't look at the MASH at all, actually.
Obviously, Coach Ben Scott is hot. He's a hot man.
Clearly.
But the fact that someone from the faculty has made it into this MASH list
but this makes so
unprecedented.
No, it isn't. No, it is not. MASH was a wild time because the deal with MASH, at least from my playing of MASH, was that you would put basically one person that you wanted in there, maybe 2. And then the other people were people you did, like you had to make the stakes high. So you could be like, oh shit, you got Travis in a shack. Remember what I told you about classism? Yeah, kids. Like, you know what I mean? And 12 kids. Like, you had to set yourself up for, like, the nightmare scenario to make the game fun. So I think that this could track.
Okay. Okay. Well, I would hardly classify Coach Scott as a nightmare scenario. The last page of data that we have is even more telling than the last bunch of date information I gave you. Movie characters I would be include Sidney Prescott from Scream, which again was released in December of 1996, Rose Dawson from Titanic, which was released in 1997, Angela Hayes from American Beauty, and What's Her Bucket from 10 Things I Hate About You, both released in 1999, and Torrance Shipman, God bless America, from Bring It On, which was famously released in the year of our Lord, 2000.
Yeah.
So, what are we thinking?
Well, we've now reached the point where I'm watching in real time, and Jenny, I think you are damn near close to like watching this show, because I remember this being a hot topic in the text message exchanges between Kristin Russo and Jenny Owen Youngs. Yes. And so I did a lot of thinking about this, and my theory was that this was Jackie's diary, or they had shared diaries, and that Sean, because I just could not and still cannot get on board with the fact that this would just be an oops by the props department. It is so specific. So my guess was that Shauna continued going over Jackie's house, because at this point I was like, Jackie clearly died and Jackie's no more. So Shauna is, when she gets back from the island, she is going over to Jackie's house because she misses her best friend, and she's still doing these things that they did together, but just without Jackie. So that's what I put on the table for consideration.
Another option, Jackie made it back from the island, but then
but then died
for
after
some unknown reason.
Right.
After the year 2000, after she just needed to make it to Bring It On, and then she could.
And then she has to make it to
experience Sweet Release.
As soon as she sees Eliza Dushku, then she's ready to go. Yeah, and maybe this will, Jenny, you can tell me if this gets the gavel for not allowed or allowed. But I paused my television this watch on the photo of Jackie blowing out her birthday candles because this is Jackie's birthday. And I counted the candles.
How many were there?
15 candles.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's past, and it doesn't mean it. It just felt like, okay, so then if Jackie's last birthday, she was 15, then she doesn't make it back.
No, but aren't they like seniors? So
yeah,
these are inconclusive birthday candles.
Inconclusive birthday candles. No one can know. No one knows. But what we do know is that most of us watching this show in real time spent days of our lives, not to be confused with the soap opera, researching every fucking thing that was in this goddamn journal. And perhaps we'll get answers. Perhaps we won't. Remains to be seen.
So does that do it for teen Shauna? Can we navigate?
It depends, because there's this confusing, like we have to go to brunch at the Taylors with adult
Gotta go to brunch.
Gotta go to brunch with adult Shauna and Jeff at Jackie's parents' house. And there's a little bit that I want to talk about that has to do with adult Shauna flashing back. So let's just go to brunch and we'll put everything else in the bin that we need to talk about at brunch.
Okay. So it's Jackie's birthday RIP brunch at the Taylor household. Jackie's parents are really lacking in social skills. And while I understand that losing your teen daughter must be painful in ways we cannot know, and obviously that would impact, the rest of your life, I think, to some degree. I think by now they should have figured out how to coexist with people who loved Jackie without just completely negging them.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I love to give as much room as possible. It's like part of my DNA to just be like, well, I agree. I do. The only room that I will give to this is that we are put in 2021 because it is an anniversary year. As a matter of fact, I believe it's
Some might say that's reunion pay dirt, baby.
If this pod ever gets a jingle, it should just be a pay dirt jingle.
Hell yeah.
So we know that for the survivors of this plane crash, it is 25 years. We also know that it is Jackie's 40th birthday, would have been Jackie's 40th birthday. So I will give a little bit of room to the fact that these parents clearly have always been a bit of an asshole about their daughter. I am 100% positive that they were a bit of an asshole about their daughter while she was still alive. And
hang on, because 40 minus 25 is 15.
I know, that's why I thought my candle math was on.
This is confusing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we took a quick math break. My favorite kind of break.
We had like headache. Our eyes were like spinning to the back of our heads. And I was like, Jenny, we have to stop recording and do high school math, which really kind of came with not a resolution.
Okay, so we have some data that we can talk about and one or two things that we can't yet talk about, just like for spoiler safety. But here's what we know. In New Jersey, in the 90s, you had to be 17 years old to drive a car without a licensed adult riding with you. You also, probably had to be a senior in high school to get accepted to college. Shauna has been accepted to Brown. Jackie is talking about what it'll be like when they go to Rutgers together. Now, due to things we can't yet reveal to you, we know that Jackie, Shauna, and Taissa and Natalie are seniors in the graduating class of 1996. This presents kind of a head scratcher because we believe soccer to be a fall sport, which would mean that they'd be graduating in 1997, unless, like at my high school, I believe boys played soccer in the fall and girls played soccer in the spring because they both used the same field. So all of the high schools in our area just went with that so that like there wouldn't be conflict about who got to use the field at a given school when.
But
how am I doing, Kristin?
Fine, but the thing is like even without any of that, like all we really need on the table right now to say we are confused and might need listener help is that we know that Jackie is a senior. Therefore she cannot be 15. And that like she has to be 15 for her to be turning 40 in 2021. Like that is the math. As a matter of fact, we have a living, breathing mathematical proof of that statement right here in front of us. Jenny Owen Youngs, who would have been 15 at most, 16 for like a few weeks in 96, and who turned 40 in 2021. Like you are that math. So there is no way that Jackie can be that math.
Right. I love that we have a living, breathing example in me. Yeah, so this seems like maybe some shoddy housekeeping. But people love round numbers.
It just feels
40,
like
that's birthday pay dirt.
It just feels like wild to me. And this is how I felt when like the diary was being held under scrutiny because and especially like the more I talked to like LaToya and people who do they're like the people who read scripts for this purpose. Like there are people who read scripts just to catch shit like this. So to have that big of a thing be out of order feels wild to me, and it gets my like spidey sense tingling of like, so then what is the reason? You know, like it's just so big of a miss for like, just help us, tell us what you think.
Yeah. If you know things we don't know, let us know.
Wow, we like tripped right like face first into this fucking 40th birthday situation. You'd think that we would have like gotten confused before being live on mics, but that's not our style.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what is the traditional gift for a 40th birthday?
What?
Bunny statuary. It's also the traditional gift for every previous year. That's why Shauna's house is full of tiny bunnies.
Yes, she's gotten them every year for an undetermined amount of years because the math is confusing. Can anyone count the bunny statues in Shauna's house?
Yeah, let's get a running tally.
Callie, do you know what a bunny statue is? Okay, so when we're at brunch, after Shauna opens up the bunny statue, she's also getting sexts. Well, they're not sex yet, but I mean, Adam points in one direction and it is a sext. So it's not sexty yet, but it's going to get there. She goes upstairs to get away from the chaos where, you know, Jackie's parents are being shitbags. She goes into Jackie's room. That's when we see the diary. It's also when Shauna sees 15-year-old ? Jackie sitting on her bed saying, It's not your fault. It wasn't your fault. What wasn't her fault? We don't know. We
don't know yet, but Shauna's like, I know. And Jackie's like, what? No, it's totally your fault.
Yeah, no, your line was actually, this is totally your fault. But we were kids and it was awful. And then there's this like really cool, I love this. Why are you here? Says Shauna to Jackie. And then Ghost Jackie, says, why are you here? To Shauna. Love it.
And then we get a little Jeffus Interruptus pulling Shauna out of her reverie. And they have a little exchange. He's like, well, you left me alone down there. She's like, do you ever wish You know?
Yeah.
And he's like, we can leave if you want. And that's what we got.
The Shauna, Jackie, Jeff triangle is prominent in this episode. Clearly, we already talked about the scene in the woods between Jackie and Shauna. There's the whole baby situation. And in present day, we are triangulating again because of this birthday gathering. And, I think at least to put a bit of a bow on that triangle. Do we want to? I'm not sure.
Let's put a buddy on that triangle.
Let's put a buddy on that triangle. I just think that the fact that the car ride that Shauna and Jeff take really does a lot of work for us here, or at least for me. In Jeff telling Shauna he doesn't wish that he married Jackie. They've made a life together and it's not perfect or what they thought it would be, but he doesn't have any regrets. Jackie was going to break up with me anyway. That was all I was ever going to be to Jackie, a high school boyfriend. But you and me, we built, he trails off. We are still together and that means something. I love you. And Shauna reaches over and holds his hand.
I feel like there's some things he could have left out.
Yeah, but I kind of love that he doesn't. It's like very Jeff. Like Jeff is like honest to a fault ? Again. Like I don't know. It's like I think a lot because people have brought up the Jeff Riley comparison. And I do think that Riley is a Jeff. I just think that Jeff was able to be written as his full self, which is what makes us love Jeff. And I don't think that Riley was ever filled in like this because it's the fact that Riley was never filled in that makes you be like, what the fuck? But when you see the fullness that is Jeff, I love Jeff. I love him so much.
Yeah. And we got to back up a second. So we can really appreciate Jeff because
yes.
Let me run down some things that Mrs. Taylor says to Shauna and Jeff. Jackie would have been happy for you. She was generous that way, and she always worried about Shauna finding someone. You two are a better match, the type to be content. Also, you can't be remarkable and raise a family. Jeff's the only one who contributes. They say this when they're talking about offering to help with Callie's college, and Shauna is like, absolutely not. Then she says later, Jackie was so gifted. I can't imagine how exhausting it must have been to always be comparing yourself to someone so beautiful and smart. And that's when Jeff has had enough. He's like, Shauna got into Brown. She's the smartest person I ever met. Also, Shauna and I were sleeping together when Jackie and I were still a couple. Jackie was amazing, but so is my damn wife.
I may have been an idiot then, but at least I was smart enough to see that. And this really is the best tuna quiche I have ever tasted.
Okay, how dare anyone serve tuna quiche at brunch time?
Agree.
Or ever.
Quiche? Tuna.
In the sobering light of day?
Or quiche. One or the other,
One or the other. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah. Yeah, this is good, Jeff. This is good. Good. I like it. I'm here for it. And I also believe that Jeff had enough. Like, he's been going to these brunches and probably maybe not to this level, but has been picking up a lot of this shit for however many years. And he's like, you can go fuck yourself, actually. And Shauna is pleased, isn't she?
Oh, yeah. Oh, she is pleased as punch.
Yeah.
And she decides not to text Adam back. She's so pleased until Jeff has to go back into the store for more inventory database nonsense. And then Shauna's like, fuck it.
Yeah. Adam, my note to Adam is be cool, man. Be cool. Adam is unspooling. He's texted Shauna that I miss you. Is that too much? Then he's waited an undetermined amount of time to be like, what are you wearing? And then again, call me. And then I do not miss you. Just kidding. And then a pile of his clothes. Can you guess what I'm wearing? No response from Shauna that whole time. Adam, you need to be cool.
Adam, it would be cool if you could be cool.
Yeah. Okay, so Adam is not being cool, but he does eventually win out despite his lack of coolness because of the fact that Jeff leaves. And Shauna's like, hey, I can do that too. So one other like tiny Shauna thing, which is only related in a book club sense, is that we have not yet talked about the coming together of Shauna, Taissa, and Nat in adult form. But before that happens, in the motel parking lot, Randy is there because he's in a fight with his wife, Tammy. They're
having one of their little divorces right now.
Yeah. And one of my favorite parts about the Randy-Shauna exchange, which is just absolutely delightful from top to bottom, is Randy literally has a tattoo of a Yellowjacket on his side, which he shows Shauna. It's all very, very, very good. But my favorite part is that Shauna only knows how to tell one lie, and it is always book club, no matter what. She literally still uses book club in the bird. She's like, my book club meets over there.
Well, Randy is like Jeff's best bro.
Right.
So she's got to keep it consistent.
That's true.
Just in case they compare notes.
That's true. Okay, that is true. I forgot about that. I should have known because Randy says to give Jeff a big man hug from me.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about perhaps Nat for a second before we get into sort of them all coming together and the blackmailing and the mystery of it all. Condoms are on the island. Great news. We've got condoms, kids. Ben, in fact, has 1 million condoms. Thank God.
So many condoms. How many pajamas do you need for a 1-week trip to Seattle? 1. How many condoms do you need for a 1-week trip to Seattle? When you're as hot as Coach Ben Scott, the sky's the limit, my friends.
Oh, I love Coach Ben so much. And so he has caught wind. He basically says, like, you know, girls talk about everything. Well, so I basically know that you're fucking around with Nat because I live with 100 girls and they're all talking about it and everybody knows. And they do because there's a great like Travis and Nat return to the campfire moment where they're all whistling. And I think Van says, it's beaver season. Just Van, MVP.
Yes, Van.
But regardless, Coach Ben has gotten word of this and luckily has prepared himself for his week in Seattle. Man, he really missed out, huh? Like he was going to have a time in Seattle.
Yeah.
And he gives Travis all of these condoms because he says, and he's right, like it's none of my business until it is my business. Because if there's a baby out here,
then it's everybody's business.
It's everybody's business because that's going to be a fucking disaster. And Travis makes fun of Ben for having so many condoms, which is delightful. And then what's even more delightful is that when Travis leaves, Ben says to basically nobody, like, fuck me. He says to the corpse of skeleton buddies somewhere outside.
Yeah.
Lord, help me and save me, please. I did not sign up for trying to talk to Travis about having sex with Nat, nor lying to Misty about having a crush on her. I just wanted to bring my condoms to Seattle and get laid. That's all I wanted.
Yeah. He's a simple man. So we see Nat and Travis hooking up a bunch. We see Travis accidentally drop a condom, and Nat's like, oh, okay. And that leads to a conversation about, like, what's everybody's number?
Classic.
And then Nat does a little feminism speech.
Nat does a little feminism. Just leave it there. Nat does a little feminism. Yeah. She quotes, she doesn't even know that she's future quoting Janelle Monáe, saying that the vagina now has a monologue. I was like, wait, I've heard this before. Where have I heard this before? Oh, right. It's in a Janelle Monáe song. Yeah, I mean, I know that we don't know the whole of Travis and Nat's relationship, but we've only heard about future them via Taissa, who calls it toxic, right? But I actually get really wonderful vibes from the two of them as a duo in this episode. I think that they really catch each other a lot of times, especially given the fact that they are teenagers. You know, we have like Travis feeling really insecure at the jump when they're first making out, and Natalie like really, really taking care of him and going above and beyond to be like, you're a really good kisser and I actually don't want to leave, you know, like that's nice. And then we get the reverse of that with him asking for Nat's number. Nat carries a lot of baggage already at this age because she has her own teammates calling her a fucking slut. So who knows how many people are calling her a slut outside of just her teammates. And so she gets really upset. And Travis, I think, does a really great job of actually being vulnerable enough to say, like, I actually haven't ever slept with somebody and I didn't mean anything. But, you know, and like they just are good. They're really talking to each other and they're really, I think, helping each other feel safe to share an intimate experience. And that is like where they get to. They get to that place. And I just think it's really nice and I love them.
It is nice. It is good. But you know, nothing kills a boner like staring out the door of your recently crashed aircraft where a number of your peers died, actually, and seeing a bloody antlered deer.
They're totally going to take a one-way ticket to Bone Town, except for that bloody deer. That bloody deer just scoots right on by. But it is still kind of good. I mean, like, I don't like that the deer is bloody, but and before you see that the deer is bloody, it's like they're maybe going to have sex. And then it's like, there's a deer. That's great. Everybody's so hungry. And Travis is like, grab the gun. And I'm like, I'm still in it. I'm still into it. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, we have just changed lanes on the sexy highway, but we're still here. It's not until that damn fucking bloody ass antlered situation happens and then leads to maggots. Like then the boner's gone. Then there's no boner.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they can even, and Nat calls this out, like they are literally, their makeout sessions are happening on a bloody plane. So
yeah,
they're really having to, you know, use their imaginations. Fantasy. Thank God for fantasy. Luckily, at least one version of Nat gets to do it in this episode.
Laid this episode
by hot Kevin.
Yes, we love to see him. He happens to swing by the efficiency apartment just as Natalie is heading out to sell her frigging Porsche.
One thing that I want to talk about before Nat bangs Kevin, probably a few things, but one of them is that I would like to redact my former hypothesizing about Nat wearing fishnets for Halloween. Because
she's still wearing fishnets.
Over the top of a button-up white collared shirt above her jean shorts.
Sweetie, no.
It's a lot. I'm not sure it's a no. I don't even know if it's a no at this point. We've gone so far.
It's so fucking much that who knows what it is.
Who knows what it is, but it's a lot. So we learn a little bit here about Kevin because we really don't know that much except for the haiku he gave us. But it seems that Kevin is this Kevin's kid? It's either Kevin's kid or Kevin's stepkid.
Definitely Kevin's kid.
It looks like it's Kevin's kid. And mom couldn't make it to the game. We don't really know why. And so he brings Nat to the game. And it's cute.
She has, despite the fact that she probably hasn't played soccer in 25 years, she has a spicy little tip for Mason.
This reminded me of when I was like, I don't know if Nat would like dance to the Montel Jordan song. And you were like, you forget that Nat is a jock. I had that moment in this scene as well, where I was like, oh, there she is. There it is. There's the jock side of Nat where she's like, sweepers, weak, go left, then go right. And then she's like shouting for this kid as he makes the goal. It's very, very cute. But she's sort of like, it triggers her. And I don't think that any of us know like the exact of it all, but it's just like soccer, trauma, whatever.
Mhm.
And she gets so into it that I think she like loses that guard that she probably holds. And she's like, I have to get the fuck out of here. And she just goes into the parking lot to like smoke a cigarette and calm down. Kevin is really, really sweet as well in this exchange. After the game is over, he comes out and he's like, they won. And just so you know, like, I don't think that you're crazy. I think you've been through a lot and that's okay with me. And then he holds her hand. Now,
Oh
this is, I would have sex with you too, Kevin. This is good shit to taking care of her.
Very nice and cute.
It really is.
Kevin, you should probably run, but have fun since you're already here.
Okay. So, clearly we know that Misty is watching them bang, on her fucking
Yellowcam.
iPad or whatever the fuck.
I lament.
So maybe we should go to the section I call Misty and her medical murder thievery, since we've got a very small amount of Misty in this episode.
Yeah.
But she really makes it work. She makes it last. She makes the time last.
Woof. Yeah, we see her leaving work and emptying her scrubs pockets of the medicine that she has stolen from work into a duffel bag completely full of medicine we assume she has stolen from work. And then while she's watching Nat and Kevin bang, then I'm a multitasker. I love to have like a manual task to do that I don't have to think about while I'm watching TV, so that I can feel like I'm productive while watching TV. And so I can really appreciate where Misty is coming from as she fills her mortar and pestle up with pills that she crushes methodically while watching the owl fuck cam.
Good God. She likes cronuts. We can add that to the list of things that Misty likes. Coconut, LaCroix, cronuts. It almost sounds like the same thing.
Mm-hmm. She probably likes tuna quiche, if I'm being honest.
Oh, she probably does. Oh my God, she should absolutely be the one going to those birthday. She would also love those rabbit statues. Let's be real.
Yes.
So, okay. So Misty calls fucking Jessica Roberts because she is apparently taking matters into her own hands. She has heard, I assume, like she has heard also through the owl cam, the conversation between Nat and Shauna and Taissa, where Nat was gonna call Jessica Roberts and then didn't. So Misty calls Jessica Roberts and is like, meet me. You'll know it's me by the overture from Phantom of the Opera blasting from my car.
From my hospital green Fiat. This car, it comes from the same place as Coconut LaCroix.
Oh my goodness. And she does a little stabby stab, doesn't she, Jenny?
She does a little syringe in the thigh, and Jessica Roberts wakes up in Misty's basement, handcuffed to a hospital bed with duct tape over her mouth. Okay?
She's screaming as Misty, like, leaned up at the top of the stairs in the doorway, says, "Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the fact that you're a terrible person keep you up tonight."
Says the person who just drugged you and handcuffed you to a hospital bed in her basement.
Oh, no.
Woof. We hate to see it.
Oh, my God. So that's a lot from Misty. I assume we'll carry on through that plot line in the next episode. Can't wait to find out what the fuck is going to happen between those two and how Caligula may or may not get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so since she's watching them on the owl cam, do you want to talk about blackmail?
Yes, this is a perfect time to talk about blackmail. When the gal squad initially meets at Natalie's efficiency apartment, few things that we really need to talk about. Natalie and Shauna are seeing each other for the first time. Natalie's first words to Shauna are, "You look like shit. What a bitch." And then, how's Jeff? Is he still hawking futons? And Taissa is like, no. No. What is between
What?
Natalie and Shauna?
Oh, I can't wait to learn.
They give Shauna a little tour of Travis's autopsy photos and the candle wax triangle buddy hypothesis. We learn, importantly, that Shauna did not receive a postcard or a blackmail text. And they're like, even Misty got a postcard.
I know. Shauna's like, you both got one? She's like sad about it. She's feeling a little FOMO for the classic triangle buddy FOMO.
Taissa lies and says that she threatened Jessica Roberts with a lawsuit, which we know is not true.
Shauna masterminds this so quickly is a note that I took. Like she only just found out about the blackmail 2 seconds ago, and she's like, well, we'll just put a GPS tracker in the money bag. I'm like, Shauna, what? Where you just pulled that out of your ass? Like what? I thought Misty was the fucking citizen detective. What the hell's going on over here?
Well, I don't know. Shauna also probably listens to like murder podcasts, right?
Yeah, while she kills rabbits in her yard. Seems fitting. Also, just like to that point, I think that, you know, obviously there's like the butchering in the woods of it all, and that's like what you connect when you think about Shauna killing a rabbit. But I do think that there's a lot of there's a lot of deer in this episode. We got a lot of deer, no wolf in this episode, but there's also a significant helping of rabbit because we see Jackie in the woods ready to kill a rabbit right next to Jackie's parents being like, she loved cute little rabbits, you know, like, and then we know that Shauna has killed a rabbit and served it in her stew. Like there's just a lot happening here. I think like the parallel of Jackie writing in her diary about all of her favorite movies and trying to survive in the woods. Like the dichotomy there is the same as the dichotomy between writing like Matilda next to striptease, right? Yeah.
So Taissa can't get the money out of her account without Simone co-signing, and she's not telling Simone that she needs $50,000. So instead, Natalie sells her Porsche.
Yeah, I can't believe
Porsche.
she did it. She says, I feel like it's a lie. She's like, the car wasn't who I am anymore. And I'm like,
she said, when I bought it, I was somebody else. Somebody who wasn't being blackmailed about my wilderness cannibalism for $50,000.
Okay, that's, I guess then she is telling the truth. But oof, she does it without even like batting an eye. She's just, goodbye, car. Also,
just being practical.
Wild to me that she has this car, but Taissa was paying for her like recovery, rehab stay. So maybe there's more to that line than like we know, you know, about this car. Maybe there is more to that car than meets the eye.
Right at the end of the episode, they receive the, all right, here's where you're going to drop the money text. So you know that feel, don't you just hate it when you're deep in a fugue state, shoveling potted tree soil into your mouth, and you get a text that's like, hurry up, rushing you about dropping $50,000 somewhere?
I do hate it usually, unless it like lets me know that this has been happening, because maybe that's helpful, you know? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
it is actually a bit of luck, I think.
I don't know if I have the
tools. It will be a bit of luck in the long run.
To really assess how I'd be feeling. But yeah. Yeah, it's time to drop off the cash. Do you think they've all been told to drop off the cash at the same time and place, or is it staggered? Like, what's the game here?
Well, I don't know what's going on with Misty, but I think we see that Ty and Nat get the text at the same time.
So like in this blackmailer's vision, they're like, what are you doing here? Okay. I thought, Jenny, when you started talking about the end of the episode, that you were going to talk about the horrific insides of the deer with the bloody antlers, which kind of ties into something in the woods that we didn't talk about too much, which is like food was an issue. Food is now like seriously an issue. We have a whole scene where Mari, again, like so relatable. Seriously, how the fuck are there no berries? This is me in the woods. I am actually Mari, is what I've realized after studying these characters. So the deer is full of maggots.
You hate to see it, but also if they were being resourceful, they could pull out all those maggots and saute them.
No.
Yes, delicious succulent protein.
No.
Kristin, yes, they're starving in the wilderness.
No, I would die in the wilderness before I ate a maggot. Do you want to know why? Two reasons. One, maggots are disgusting. And two, a movie called The Lost Boys, starring Kiefer Sutherland as a vampire, where he makes the Chinese food white rice look like maggots. And I watched it as a child, and I can and will never know.
Oh, you know what, Kristin? I actually Googled, can you eat a maggot?
You just get like a self-help pamphlet in the mail from the people who monitor the internet.
Yeah. The internet says eating maggots or maggot-infested food can cause bacterial poisoning. I was thinking of grubs because they look like much bigger maggots.
Guess who survived?
Please don't
this
eat maggots,
episode
dear listener.
Of Doomcoming. Kristin 1, Jenny 0.
Wow. Congrats.
Oh God, I'm so glad that nobody has to eat maggots. But yeah, this deer is rotting, and probably most important point, even more important than everyone still being hungry because they can't eat this deer, is that the fucking deer that Lottie saw in her vision is now at their feet at the campsite.
Yeah.
So perhaps we should all be molders. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yes.
And you know who is the biggest molder of them all is fucking, I refer to her in my notes lovingly as LL.
That's right.
For Laura Lee. Laura Lee is like, yep. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Laura Lee is like, I want to believe.
Yeah, she sure is.
Wow. Well, Kristin, have I got a question for you?
Oh, I'm gonna have an answer.
What's the most 90s thing? Is it a little My Little Pony?
Oh.
Is it giving people the finger while saying sit and spin? Is it hearing a rumor about someone in your school giving themselves an abortion with the underwire from a bra?
Oh, that's dark.
I know it's dark, but
I know. We're here to do the Lord's work. I understand.
It's didn't come from nowhere.
I know.
Or is it tuna quiche?
It is absolutely sticking your middle finger up and saying sit and spin. I actually highlighted it in my notes as if Jenny puts this in, this is my answer, which is why I was so silent, because on my end, Jenny can testify to the fact that I was sitting here like tight-lipped, nodding emphatically when she said it. That wins. Do you agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
That is the correct answer.
Fucking sit and spin. That whole exchange, even you can include fucking Van being like, is it beaver season? Like the whole run of that dialogue was just 1000% 1996.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
has the time come for us to turn our eyes forward and contemplate what the buzz might be?
Yes. If you are skipping this section, you might as well sit and spin. We'll be back on the other side.
Kristin said that, not Jenny. Okay, so a few things.
Yeah, you're leading the charge because I didn't have time.
Okay. So from Jenny thinking Jenny's little thoughts, which is the alt title for this segment. All right. Obviously, we know Jeff is the blackmailer. There was some confusion in my mind. I think when I first watched the series, I was like, are the postcards connected to the blackmailing? I thought I had filed them elsewhere.
Yeah,
but
true.
Shauna didn't get a postcard either. So right now I'm writing the Jeff sent these posts. Jeff went to fucking
Kinko's
Vistaprint.com. And he printed out these little postcards.
Do you think Randy is in on it?
No, Randy is, God bless him, Randy just has other stuff going on.
I just can't. I cannot.
Also,
Jeff being like, let me go analog and digital. Like, let me take both paths. Oh,
yeah.
God, help me.
Okay, so consider, if you will, the Taylors offering college money to help with Callie's education. Shauna can't take this money because of her enormous guilt over Jackie's death. Jeff choking on his tuna quiche, being like, oh God, no, please let us accept this money. Fuck.
I know. He's such a good boy about it, too. I had a moment of being like, Jeff chokes on his food to fucking keep it together and stand by Shauna's side in this, because he's like, please.
I didn't come across too much juicy stuff in the Reddit from when this episode came out. People were definitely like, oh, Jeff is the blackmailer, Jeff is the blackmailer, Jeff is the blackmailer. People were wondering if Ben was banging Coach Martinez, and that's why he had so many condoms, because if you recall, when we see everybody leaving to like go to the plane, Mrs. Martinez does not seem interested whatsoever in any affection from her husband, whose first name is Coach.
Right.
And Ben has a whole lot of condoms. I think it's probably more realistic that Ben just had some adventures planned.
But I guess there's nothing to disprove this theory on the table right now.
Other than that Ben has a boyfriend, which is not like, I think Ben was like going to
visit his
hookups. I don't think Ben has I don't think Ben is like has a boyfriend and also is having a ongoing affair with his coworker.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's the vibe I have caught from the complete season.
Yeah.
Also, someone on Reddit said, too bad Lottie didn't have a premonition before getting on the plane.
Oh my God.
But the meds. She didn't have a premonition before getting on the plane because she's still on her meds at that point.
Right.
Which seemed to interfere with her visions or precognition or what have you.
Yeah. I guess like one thing that I want to talk about in the spoilery section about Lottie is just this like thread that is starting to happen for me with like Lottie and Laura Lee and like religion and spirituality and where we know that this goes, which is, or at least where we think that this goes based on how the series ends, which how the season ends, which is that there's like that Lottie is like the head of this cult. And so that just got me thinking about the way, like, what would have happened if Laura Lee didn't die? You know, because Laura Lee is this like really grounded guiding force in this moment for Lottie, and it feels powerful. But then Laura Lee has got what? Fucking two full episodes left. Rest her perfect, beautiful soul. Mm-hmm, and so I'm just, it's like in the bigger thinky thoughts of the spoilery section of just
the bigger thinky thoughts.
Because what is the show going to say about like being in a cult and like blah blah blah, and how are they gonna like, so it just seems like a really fascinating origin point to look more at this relationship between Laura Lee and Lottie, knowing where we're headed. But yeah, I didn't have anything too specific here for this week except for that. Oh, I'll save this for the other side of the spoilers. This is not a spoiler, but there was a note that I didn't get to say. But do you have anything else in Jenny's spoiler corner?
that completes my contributions.
Great. On the other side of What's the Buzz, I forgot to say that when Shauna replies to fucking Adam, she tells him to lie on the floor face down and wait for her. She may or may not show up in 45 minutes. Standing ovation for Shauna, the top in this and every relationship.
This just distinctly feels like absolutely none of our business.
Misty begs to disagree.
Yeah, I mean, Misty can have it.
All right.
But gee whiz, is that this whole episode?
I mean, honestly, as you can tell, if you're listening to this podcast, there is a lot in all these episodes. So we are certainly going to miss things because if we didn't, we'd be here for, 1,000 years. The next episode.
We talked about the episode for twice as long as the episode, and yet.
The next episode, Jenny, is called No Compass, which seems like a harbinger of doom, given the fact that we know that at least Taissa is heading into the woods. I sure hope that she does have a compass. Maybe, please.
Yikes!
So I guess we'll see what happens
hate to see it.
next time.
Well,
Jenny, perhaps you can say until next time. Oh, are we going to stick with girls chanting creepily, whatever the fuck they do?
Oh, women vocalizing eerily.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that again.
Okay.
Till next time.
From the darkest corners of our imagination comes a game show that's more ridiculous than terrifying. Welcome to Tickled to Death, the horror comedy game show where nothing is sacred, everything's a little unhinged, and the only thing more cursed than the questions are the jokes. I'm Roz Hernandez, your fearless host, and each week I'll be leading a brave group of guests through twisted horror trivia, improv games, and enough sarcastic banter to make you question all your life's choices. So come for the screams, stay for the snark. Listen to Tickled to Death wherever you get your podcasts, and hit follow unless you want the show to follow you. In the meantime, don't get tickled to death.
There are names that echo in the world of true crime, names that carry unanswered questions. Oakley Carlson, a 5-year-old girl who deserved safety, protection, and love, yet the system built to protect her failed, and Oakley disappeared. Her community still calls her name.
Or Ellen Greenberg, found in her locked apartment with 20 stab wounds, a case declared a suicide. But how does a locked apartment tell two different stories at once?
These are not just cases we have covered. They are people. They were loved, and they mattered.
Their stories deserve to be told with care, with depth, with truth.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Ricky.
We are the husband and wife duo behind Crime Salad.
Every week we uncover stories of the missing, the silenced, the misunderstood. We ask the questions that were left behind. We refuse to let these stories be forgotten.
Because behind every case is a family holding on, a community seeking answers, and a story that deserves to be heard.
We invite you to listen to Crime Salad,
Your healthy portion of true crime, wherever you get your podcasts.